Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're gonna be doing part of the Genesis maintenance. We're gonna be replacing spark plug. Um, we're gonna be doing the 3.3 engines with a turbo. So the challenge part will be our intake side because our spark plug is buried on this side here. But this one is just gonna be straightforward. So we're gonna do this first on this side here, on the left side of the engine, and then we're gonna do the other side of the bank, right? So let me grab some tools and then we'll start removing our ignition coils. So we got our spark plug part number there. Um, so yeah, I was surprised that they do replacement and part of the maintenance on this Genesis, because especially the V6 one, that's gonna be like a labor intensive, so that's gonna be expensive to replace, right? So I'm just removing these connectors here so we can see.
I found a bracket I can take this.
Okay, where's
From
the
the vehicle, I can take this bracket off because fucking parts says it's coming Wednesday. Like, geez, like they don't fucking think, man.
what did the boss on the parts said?
Well, I'm tired of like of getting into it with them. You know what I mean?
So where's the part?
It's the vehicle's over here. Can I borrow some tools?
Sure.
And then we got a knock sensor to do as well.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do the last connector here at the very back. Let's remove this joint connector there so we can see the bolts there. So just 10 mm. And make sure if you're planning to do this, let's say your vehicle is out of warranty, no more what do you call that? No more maintenance included, right? Make sure you have a set of magnets too, and especially on this side you don't want to drop anything there because that's gonna go at the very bottom. Okay, so our ignition coil is out now. Now we're gonna use our spark plug remover. That's 5/8. Okay, grab your magnet. Here's our spark plug. Looks not too bad. Then I'm just gonna compare the new one because it doesn't mean that it's in the box it's good, right? So it's a good practice that you double check, especially the gaps in it, to the old one, at least if they're almost the same, right? There's no damage. The thread, make sure that they matches. Okay, so everything is good. As you saw my other videos, when I do my spark plug, I just use this hose there. I think this is the vacuum hose I got from another vehicle. Just use that to hold the spark plug. But if your spark plug socket has a rubber on it that can secure the spark plug, because you don't want to drop this. It happened to us already. It happened to me. When I dropped this, it hit this ground part of the spark plug and pushes it in. So once you install it, you're gonna get some misfire and you're gonna rethink what you did, right? And you don't want to do that on a V6 one, because you don't want to remove the intake again just to double check your work. So just gonna thread this in, make sure that that's in. And I'm just gonna snag this, and then we're gonna torque it to spec. So we're gonna be torquing this to 18 to 19 foot-pound. Okay. So that's pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna put our ignition coil. Alright. Make sure it sits properly. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put the bolt, and then we're gonna proceed to the intake side, right? We're gonna start taking some brackets in there just to move our intake manifold. Okay, so we're gonna be doing our intake now. But before we remove the intake manifold or start removing some stuff, if you have some compressed air, right? It's a good practice too that you blow some air here, as you can see on this side here. Get some leaves there, some debris, I don't know, maybe poop from the animals, so we don't want that on our intake, right? So just do a quick blow from there. And that should be fine. And now we're gonna start removing some stuff here. Okay, so we're just gonna remove what's on top of the intake. So like this pipe here for our vacuum line, this harness 10 mm, so they're all 10 mm. So just remove that. And there's one here that you can flip it, right? And then for the harness, there's one there, another one there on the intake side. Okay. So next will be, since that's out, grab our pliers and then remove this vacuum hose here. Okay, so that's out. That's good. Next will be, we're gonna remove our side here. So we're gonna remove some stuff here. Just remove your connector here so that it will not stress the harness. Remove that. Remove our braided hose there. As for our turbo line, be careful because what's in here is just plastic. So don't go crazy on it. Okay. Now we're gonna just take out these clips here. Okay, that's out. I'm gonna remove this foam under this harness. Okay, and then I'm removing, I think, because we're gonna remove this pipe out, right? And I remove this um, screw there. So I'm gonna remove this guy here, and then this, I think this is the recirculating valve for our turbo. We're gonna remove that. That's 10 mm, so just remove the bolt there. Oh, and sometimes that's hard to remove because I think it's the glue that goes with it. So that's out now. Let's move this connector here. Okay. Next will be the mounting bracket for this pipe. It's under there. That's 10 mm. I think I believe it's 10 mm. Yeah. So we're gonna remove that. Oh. There we go. Go. 10 mm. Now we're gonna loosen this screw there. With this type of screw, because it's just a cap. But if you're gonna pop that out, there's gonna be a flat. You can use a flat screwdriver. But in this case, I'm just gonna use a vice grip to turn it. So I'll just loosen that. You can use a silicone or penetrating fluid. Just spray some there. because it's gonna be tight in there. And then you can use a pick to go around it. Just to break that seal. Now we should be able to remove this. Come on. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the cap just came off. So as you can see there, there's a flat, you can use a flat screwdriver there or an 8 mm. Okay, so I think everything is out on this side. We're gonna go on that side there. We're gonna remove some hoses there too, some connectors. Okay, so we're here at the back of the engine. So we're just gonna remove this map sensor connector here, and then this hose. I believe that's for our PCB. So we're gonna remove that. Yeah, just put it aside, and then we're gonna remove our purge valve. Oh, that's tight, man. Okay, so because at the bottom of that purge valve there's gonna be a vapor line that's going back to our tank, right? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna separate the hose from here. So how do you use that? I think I use angled, or I think I just pull out this purge valve so that I can access the clamp. Come on. Okay, so now we can access this clamp here at the bottom, right? Just using a long needle nose pliers. Okay, that's out. Okay, it's still tight there. I'm just gonna turn this hose. That's out now. I'm just gonna remove it again because I just put it in the bracket so that it's in place. So that's out. And then we're here now on this side where our throttle body. Just gonna remove our connector here. Right, and that's out. I'm gonna remove this bracket for our intake. That's 14 mm. it's out. So now all we're gonna do is remove all. I think there's one, two nuts, and 6 bolts, 10 mm. So we're gonna remove that, and we should be able to remove this whole intake. So I'm just using a quarter socket, 10 mm, and an extension. I'm just gonna loosen this. There. Here. And then the last one there, the back. Okay, and then we're just gonna remove all the loose bolts. Okay, so everything is out, but I found that there's another bracket here. I got some 10 mm there. I'm gonna remove that, I think. So let me just move this out the way. This guy here. Yeah, so there's another 10 mm there. This side here, and then another 10 mm there. So we're gonna remove that. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove now the intake manifold. Should be able to remove this now. So I can still hold it. Let's hold them now. So our harness connector there at the back. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip it like that. Let me grab a... Okay. So I'm just gonna cover our lower intake. Right. Here's our spark plug here. So that's bank 1, I think. So 135. Same thing. We're gonna remove all our connectors. It's kind of stuck in there. That's out. Okay, that's out. Wait. Okay, that's out. So now we're gonna remove our bolts. And the ignition coil. Oh. Now we're gonna remove our spark plug. Same thing. Okay, so all 3 spark plugs are out now, and the same thing what we did on the other side. I'm just gonna double check our new spark plug. They're all the same, and we will reinstall it. Okay, so we're just gonna snag them. And then we're just gonna torque them. Same torque spec. Okay, last one. Okay. So that's done. I'm just gonna put our ignition coil there, all our connectors, and then we're gonna reinstall our intake. Okay, so I put our ignition coil. I'm just gonna wipe some oil residue here on our lower intake and the gasket, right? Same thing on this side here on our intake. Now my pry bar. We're gonna reinstall this guy here. Make sure those bracket there doesn't okay.
Kakausap ka na naman dyan?
Okay, so that's in, I think. Oh no, because we have to put this in first here, this side, because of the brackets. There you go. Oops. Okay, so that's in. This side here, it's not in. What's holding this? Oh, the harness. There you go. Okay. So we put our bolt 14 mm to the other side of the intake. Just thread that in. Now we're gonna put all our 10 mm bolt and nut for intake manifold. Right. Okay, so we're just gonna thread in those bolts that we just placed. Make sure they're all straight. Okay, now same thing. We're just gonna snag them because we're gonna torque it. So in case like this, like an oil pan, cylinder head, so when you tighten it, even though there's no sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, just do your best that you do it from the inside first, out to outside. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're gonna torque them to 10 foot-pound. So usually 10 millimeter bolts, I don't see any on the spec that it goes more than 10 foot-pounds. So my rule of thumb, I think the proper spec on this is around 8 to 9 foot-pound, but I'll just do 10-10. So 10 millimeter, 10 foot-pound. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then I'm just gonna tighten the 14 mm there on your bracket. Okay. So the rest is we're just gonna put in reverse order, especially the 10 mm at the bottom of this intake. Right, there's two there, the bracket, our purge valve there, our hose, our PCV hose there, our connector on the throttle body, our turbocharged pipe, the bolt, and some connectors there, right? Our manifold pressure there, connector, and that should be it. So I'm just gonna put everything back together, and then we'll recheck our repair. Alright guys, so I put everything back together. Now we're just gonna start the vehicle. Make sure we don't have noise, we don't have misfire. Make sure that it idles fine. So far we have check engine light. There's no vibration or indication of a misfire. So that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed that quick replacement of the spark plugs on a 3.3 engine turbo for a Genesis. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time. Thank you for watching.